From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, the pedestrian who was killed on Highway 77 at Lincoln has been identified.
Plus, the importance of not skipping appointments when it comes to breast cancer.
It's definitely have a toll on their mental health.
Also tonight, we're continuing to follow how staffing shortages in our prisons are impacting so many. But first, we begin tonight with some breaking news: a deadly shooting in Nebraska.
It happened in Superior. A worker at a Nebraska grain elevator is dead and another in serious condition. The Nuckolls County Sheriff confirming with ABC News a former worker opened fire inside the AgRex grain elevator around 1:30 this afternoon. He says in addition to the worker being killed, the shooter is also dead.
Now, he says one of the two victims was flown to a Lincoln hospital and is, quote, not in good shape, end quote. Investigators are on the scene, of course, right now. We'll let you know when we have more information. All right, it's back to our other top story now. Most prisoners will tell you they don't expect the red carpet when they're behind bars.
However, because there's not enough workers, some say it's getting to a boiling point mentally. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez sat down with a former inmate and a therapist who volunteers in multiple prisons to bring a new perspective to the issue. Ariana?
Yes, we've heard from the director of the Nebraska Correctional Services, a prison workers, union reps, senators, and a wife of a prison worker. Today, I spoke with Samar Atkins, who was released from prison a few years ago for 3 felony charges. He still is in contact with those on the inside.
I'm in almost like weekly contact with inmates that's incarcerated, and I mean, you know, they're doing the best they can to try to maintain through this crisis. But I mean, at the same time, it's definitely have a toll on their mental health.
Because there's not enough prison workers, for the most part, inmates are in their cells 24 hours a day, Friday through Sunday. And that includes not having visitation on those days. Atkins' friends on the inside say it's not only hard to not see family, but it's causing friction between inmates and their loved ones.
The majority of the family members, they're prone to believe the administration. They're prone to believe, okay, maybe y'all must not be doing something right. That's why they're canceling your visits. That's why you're on lockdown. But then you have the inmates saying, no, we're not doing nothing wrong. You know, I'm doing everything I can. You know, I'm not in segregation. I'm on the yard. I don't have no infractions, anything of that nature. So it creates a little friction between the family member and the inmate. And a lot of times, you know, the family members, you know, they get discouraged, and some of them, you know, they want to give up.
Something Senator McKinney brought up during the last hearing was early release for the inmates who qualify.
You have 5,300 people in prison today. You do the math, it's $40,000 for one person to spend a year in our state penitentiary.
An alternative to spending that money on inmates is to spend it on other programs.
Before you end up going to prison, they divert you into a program where you can get mental health, substance abuse treatment, counseling, and close supervision and support to help you get a job and to reestablish a restorative justice.
The director of the state's prison system says they are more than 600 workers short right now. Many say at the moment there doesn't seem to be a clear solution.
And I listened to Director Frake's testimony, and I've worked with him, communicated with him about things that we can change, and he's really receptive to that. I've never seen him. He was almost waving the white flag. He just really can't figure out what he can do to do rehabilitation and make conditions livable in the prisons with the staffing levels that he's got.
Something else Paul Fielman is concerned about is how not seeing family and not getting as much time outside, on top of other things, can drastically impact mental health, as there have been at least 23 suicide attempts in the last 10 months.
Now, Ariana, I'm sure there are people out there watching right now saying, you know, who cares? They broke the law, they get what they get.
Well, some state senators and the union rep have said that this is not only causing more mental issues for the inmates, it's making for a more dangerous atmosphere for the guards and prison staff.
All right, Ariana, thank you so much for that report. A close call on the roads in Saunders County, and it was caught on camera.
Yes, this happened last Saturday on Highway 77 near Meade. A witness's vehicle camera system shows a vehicle cross the center line. It then hit another vehicle right there. The Saunders County Sheriff's Office says it was because of a distracted driver. That driver who caused the crash and then went right in front of the deputy was ticketed. The injuries, thankfully, are not life-threatening. Now to an update on the fatal crash on Highway 77 in Lincoln yesterday.
That's right. We now know the identity of the man who was killed. Lincoln police say 56-year-old Timothy Beam died at the scene. They say he pulled onto the shoulder there of Highway 77, got out to pick up some debris on the road, and when he was going back to his car, that's when he was hit by a vehicle. At this point, no citations have been issued, and Lincoln police say they are still investigating.
A prominent businesswoman in Lincoln has passed away. Joanne Martin, the longtime CEO of Emeritus, died yesterday. She helped lead the company for more than 3 decades. The governor says she was a pillar of the Lincoln community and a trailblazer in the insurance industry. And speaking of the governor, this morning he stopped the current state-directed health measure.
This means certain elective surgeries can now start up again starting tomorrow. Obviously, each hospital will decide when and if it has the capacity to do so. The suspension was lifted after COVID hospitalizations fell below 10% statewide. And staying with your health now, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
But some women aren't aware, and many have skipped appointments during the pandemic. Here's Channel 8's Nathan Grieve to talk about how bad an idea that can be.
So this little tiny area would have been missed had she not gone in for her yearly annual mammogram last year, and could have potentially really delayed her treatment and diagnosis.
That's just one example of how not skipping an appointment was a literal lifesaver. During the pandemic, however, people skipped all types of appointments, including breast cancer screenings.
Just skipping one, it happens, but we definitely encourage women to get those done and to pick back up, because it can really happen at any time. It's unpredictable. There's no way to say, well, I was fine last year, so I'll be fine this year.
That year-to-year change can be of huge importance. It could be the difference between finding something early or finding something when you notice a problem.
The average size of a breast lesion, if a patient presents once they feel something, is actually a little over 2 centimeters. The average size of a lesion, like a breast cancer, a small invasive breast cancer that we detect with screening, is about half that size. It's just a little bit over 1 centimeter, and that can have very important implications.
Luckily, the missed appointment trend is starting to turn around, which is now leading to some delayed diagnoses. But when it comes to cancer, certainly it's better to catch it later than not at all. Reporting in Lincoln, Nathan Grieve, Channel 8 News.
And coming up tonight at 6 and 10 o'clock, we're going to have an exclusive look at a new cancer screening clinic at CHI Health.
Let's check in with your weather now, and John DeSauer standing by. And what are the temps right now? Upper 50s?
Yeah, temperatures made it back into the 50s this afternoon, a little bit warmer than yesterday at this time period. So that's some good news for sure. But today's 57 degrees in Lincoln is the coldest temperature on the state in 3 years. Take you outside now and show you what it looks like from Southeast Community College, looking off to the east, and you can see hardly any clouds to be seen as we look off to the east. Now, if we were to turn the camera around and look back to the west, there are some clouds that are out there. But you can see the temperature difference compared to yesterday. We're running 2 to as much as 8 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. Right now, still sitting at the high temperature of the day in Lincoln at 57. It's 57 in Beatrice. We've made it up to 58 in Hebron, as well as 58 in Grand Island and Kearney. Frost advisories go into effect tonight for all the counties shaded in blue, basically along I-80 and areas to the south from 1 o'clock till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And north of that, freeze warnings in effect from 1 o'clock until 10 o'clock in the morning. We are watching a slow-moving front out to the west. It's going to begin to move across the area as we go through the overnight and into tomorrow morning. However, it's going to stop and then do an about face and start to move back to the west. It's what we call a weak backdoor cold front coming our way. It's going to wreak havoc with temperatures tomorrow. We're going to see a wide range, probably a 20-degree spread across southeast Nebraska. We'll take a closer look at that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, John. Let's talk about your money now. If you're planning on traveling for the holidays, you should book those plane tickets now.
That's because prices are on the rise. ABC's Gio Benitez has more on what you need to know.
This morning, the skyrocketing cost of fuel isn't just affecting cars on the road, but passengers in the air. United CEO Scott Kirby saying, brace yourself to pay more for your next flight.
Higher jet fuel prices lead to higher ticket prices.
United is already seeing a surge in demand for the holidays, hiring 1,000 more pilots so far this year to help get more flights in the air. But that higher demand also means higher prices, and experts say they're coming fast. Industry analysts say come Halloween, just 10 days away, many of the deals are gone.
When should people be buying their tickets?
If you're looking to fly for Thanksgiving, you should be looking to book just about now. That window is closing on you. I wouldn't wait more than another week or two to book those Thanksgiving flights.
Willis Orlando of Scott's Cheap Flights says there are some deals still out there. And with airlines getting rid of cancellation and change fees, booking now, no matter what, may be a good move.
So even if you're not totally sure about travel right now, you're saying get the tickets anyway because you can change them later.
Right now, airline policies are in your favor. So if you're not 100% certain if you'll be traveling over the holidays, but you think you might be, hey, lock in that great fare right now, knowing that you can likely push it down the road without paying a change fee. There's kind of no harm, no foul if you book and decide to change your ticket.
And it turns out if you find the same flight at a cheaper price later, you can make the change too.
If prices go down because change fees are waived, you can likely take the money from the first ticket in a voucher and buy the new ticket and have a little something left over on the side.
And of course, we've seen lots of cancellations and delays during the pandemic. So here's another tip. When you're booking that flight, book the earliest flight possible. That way, if there's any issues with it, you actually have more options later in the day. Gio Benitez, ABC News at Newark Liberty International Airport.
Still to come on the news tonight, the House sending a strong message to those not willing to cooperate with the investigation into the January 6th insurrection.
That story and your full forecast coming up after the break.
On Capitol Hill, the House of Representatives voted to hold Steve Bannon in criminal contempt of Congress.
The former senior advisor to President Trump is refusing to comply with a subpoena and give testimony concerning the January 6th insurrection. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
The resolution is adopted.
In a rare move, lawmakers voting to hold Steve Bannon in criminal contempt of Congress for defying a subpoena and failing to cooperate with the investigation into the deadly Capitol riot.
What sort of precedent would it set for the House of Representatives if we allow a witness to ignore us flat out without facing any kind of consequences?
The American people deserve to hear his testimony.
The House Select Committee investigating the insurrection alleges Bannon had specific knowledge about the events planned for January 6th before they occurred. And lawmakers point to Bannon's own words on his podcast January 5th.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow.
But at the request of former President Trump, Bannon is refusing to testify about the role he and Trump may have played in the riot that day. Trump says he and former aides are shielded by executive privilege, a claim rejected by President Biden.
Mr. Bannon is hiding behind the former president's false claims of executive privilege to try to run out the clock on this investigation.
Top House Republicans are standing by Trump, voting against holding Bannon in contempt.
The Select Committee despises Steve Bannon's politics, so they're abusing their power to put him in jail.
It will now be up to the Justice Department to decide whether to prosecute Bannon.
The Department of Justice will do what it always does in such circumstances. It will apply the facts and the law and make a decision consistent with the principles of prosecution.
Attorney General Merrick Garland continues to insist the Justice Department will make an independent decision on whether it prosecutes Bannon. If he is charged and found guilty by a jury, Bannon could face up to a year in prison. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
All right, a heads up if you bought onions recently. The CDC says there's a salmonella outbreak in 37 states. Over 600 people have gotten sick and more than 100 have been hospitalized, but no deaths have been reported. The source, whole red, white, and yellow onions imported from Mexico. The CDC says do not eat, sell, or serve them. Instead, throw them away and wash surfaces they may have been in contact with. A major change on the horizon for Facebook.
Tech publication called The Verge reporting Facebook is planning to rebrand itself with a new name focused on the metaverse.
Whether positive, negative, or otherwise, the associations with the Facebook app are hard to distinguish from a company that has ambitions to represent much more than that.
Facebook is expected to announce the new name next week at their annual Connect conference on Thursday.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dessauer.
Not too bad today, especially if you were out in the sun. It made it feel a little bit nicer. Now, off the top of the show, I was showing you the view from Southeast Community College looking to the east, and we had beautiful blue skies. But as we look to the south and the west, from Schoen's Roofing in Beatrice, you can see we've got some mid to high level clouds beginning to stream into the area. Take you up to Lincoln from Allo and show you that as we look off to the south and west, you can see some of those clouds way out in the distance, but almost directly overhead we still have blue skies. We'll see a mixture of clear skies and clouds overnight, which will allow temperatures to bounce around just a little bit. 57 degrees is the current temperature at the airport. It's also the high temperature of the day in Lincoln, down to 50, or Beatrice, I should say. It's 57 degrees there and 58 degrees coming in from Hebron. Now, as we go through the rest of the evening, temperatures will start to drop pretty quickly after sunset, right around 6:40 this evening, down to 50 degrees by 8 o'clock, 45 degrees by 10, and our temperatures will keep dropping. Low temperatures will eventually get down into the low 30s. Now, 31 degrees in Lincoln, that is out at the airport. I think in the city, we're probably talking a low temperature of 34 degrees. When we're talking temperatures that cold, and we've got a calm wind, that's when we start talking about the threat for frost. Now, from 1 o'clock until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, a frost advisory is in effect, basically for the counties along I-80 and areas to the south. That does include Lancaster County as well as Gage County. Now, to the north of that, we've got freeze warnings that are in effect from 1 o'clock until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning as well, and that does include places like Columbus, and that's where temperatures will likely get to 32 or just slightly below with calm winds, so that we may see a freeze in some of these counties. You can see this actually extends all the way into Iowa and even portions of Minnesota. Wanted to show you this weak little front that's back out to the west. That's sending the clouds our direction. This front is likely to bring some troubles to the forecast for tomorrow, mainly because we're going to see a wide range in temperatures. The front is expected to keep moving to the east. By tomorrow morning, it's going to pass as a warm front. However, as we go through the day, that front's going to start to drift back to the west, and that's going to drop our temperatures and bring a few more clouds to parts of the area. Now, by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're going to be sitting in the 90s. But notice as we go through the day, you can almost pick out where this front is at. By noon, upper 40s in Lincoln, upper 50s back out towards the Tri-Cities. As we go through the day, that front begins to slowly move back to the west. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, temperatures probably not this cool in Lincoln, probably in the upper 50s, but mid 60s as you head further to the west. So that's why we're talking about a wide range in temperatures tomorrow afternoon. Now here's what I'm forecasting for a high temperature because of that front. 59 degrees for Lincoln, 59 in Seward, 62 in Beatrice. It's right along here is where that front's at. You go on to the other side, and temperatures will be in the upper 60s tomorrow afternoon with more sunshine, probably more in the order of partly cloudy skies further to the east. So for tomorrow night's game of the week, Seward versus Aurora, we'll see clear skies, temperatures of 59 degrees at kickoff. By the time the game is coming to an end by 9 o'clock, look for a temperature of 50 degrees. I've been talking about the chance for some rain coming in for the weekend. Latest data suggesting late Saturday night, we'll start to see a few showers moving into the area. A few thunderstorms will be possible early Sunday morning, likely before sunrise, probably midnight to 3 a.m. And then we'll keep a chance for a few scattered showers in the area through Sunday morning and maybe lingering into Sunday afternoon. 7-day forecast, 64 degrees on Saturday, 62 degrees on Sunday, 64 Monday. We warm back up to the 70s by Tuesday. Now, after about Wednesday, there's a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. There's a lot of fronts that are going to be nearby, and it's at that time of year. If that 20 miles north or south of that front, we could see a 30-degree temperature swing. So don't be surprised if we keep making some adjustments and you see some swings in temperatures as we go through into Halloween weekend. Right now, though, Halloween weekend looks to see temperatures in the lower to middle 60s.
Always a fluid situation, though,
That's
with
right.
weather. All right, thank you, John. A split day on Wall Street, the Dow only falling 6 points, NASDAQ up 94. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
More breaking news to bring you during this 5 o'clock newscast. The FBI confirms the human remains found yesterday are those of Brian Laundrie.
Yes, they were found in a nature preserve in Florida where they've been searching for Laundrie over a month as authorities tried to piece together what exactly happened between him and his fiancée, Gabby Petito. Of course, many people know they were on a road trip through the western part of the U.S. over the summer when he returned back home to Florida without her. Laundrie disappeared a few days before authorities in Wyoming found Petito's remains in a national park there. Laundrie's cause of death has not yet been determined.
Of course, this breaking news coming down just a little bit ago. You can bet World News with David Muir will have the very latest coming up here in just a few minutes right after this newscast. For now, let's get a recap of our weather with John.
Yeah, for this evening, it's going to get chilly pretty quickly. Furnaces will likely be on as we go through the overnight. 49 degrees by 8 o'clock, 45 degrees by 10 o'clock. We'll have partly cloudy skies. At times will turn mostly clear, and the temperatures will keep dropping. That's why there are frost advisories that are in effect along the I-80 corridor and further to the south from 1 o'clock until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And north of that, we've got freeze warnings in effect. Bottom line, temperatures by morning will likely range from the lower to middle 30s around the area. 31 degrees is what I'm forecasting for the Lincoln Airport, 34 degrees in the city.
All right. Thank you, John, and thank you all for joining us tonight.
And as I mentioned, World News is coming up next. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
What's so extreme about the DQ Reese's Extreme Blizzard? How about all the Reese's you could dream of, all in world-famous DQ soft serve? What a rush. Get it delivered at DQ.com.